And we're live. We didn't even get someone said thank you, fans. You know that graphic at the end of the season that's like, thank you so much. Phillies suck. What is this? Throw the team away. Underdog vibes. What the blank is this? F Maine. Horrible game.
Misery.
We need to shove the momentum in their face. Blah, 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 blah. Well, luckily, albeit he hasn't been pitching well greatly. First off, how are we doing? Second off, although he hasn't pitched great down the stretch this season, Ranger Suarez is by far probably one of our clutchest postseason pitchers, and he's going to go tomorrow. But if you were to tell me that we would lose a Wheeler start and a Nola start and still go on to win the series, I would tell you are full of crap, essentially.
And I would go
we'll have
farther
Wheeler
to say
again.
that it doesn't matter who's pitching. Clearly, you had an absolutely amazing game.
You had Sean Manaea on the hill today. Sean Manaea on the hill today, who pitched as a relief pitcher for the Padres, and you completely blew him up. His last start, he had a 12-run ERA. He had a great regular season, but his last start, he got blown up. And to be honest with you, and we're going to get into more Eagles too. Did the Phillies forget how to play baseball? Are they the worst team in the sports? Is the season over? Blah, blah, blah. We saw this happen. I mean, we saw this happen with the Braves. We had the long layoff. I'm not going to blame the layoff, but with baseball, it's all about who gets kind of hot at the right time. You need a little bit of luck. And, yeah, so that's where we're at with the Phillies. And ask Cody to get his dad to pitch. Go Flyers. I think really where the game was, and I'll find my notes here, really where the game was lost, the couple solo shots, there was actually somebody called today on WIP and said, I hope Pete Alonso hits a solo shot and that's all Nola gives up and he goes far into the game. Nola went far into the game. The bottom of the fifth inning, he holds a 2-0 lead. It's the top of the sixth, and we get two men on with no outs. Harper strikes out, and Castellanos hits in a double play, and it ends 2-0. Bottom, bases loaded. This is usually where I hate bringing in a pitcher in traffic. It almost worked. 2-0, bunch of men on. They finally pulled Nola. Orion Kirkring gets 2 outs in a row, almost gets out of the jam, and then gives up a single. It's 4-0. They get the final out. And, a lot of the lineup tinkering didn't work. The switching of pitchers didn't work. It doesn't matter who pitched. But I think even though Marsh and Stott came in at the end of the game, I think that is the Phillies' identity. They have the little water cups. They're the daycare. They're the fun guys. They're the vibe guys. You sat them today for a stiff in Austin Hayes, who has done absolutely nothing the trade deadline, and Edmundo Sosa back-to-back, hitting back-to-back with Rojas in the lineup. And you have an inferior bottom half of the lineup. And again, you bring Ruiz in traffic instead of just letting Alvarado. It's 4-0. There's 2 outs, bases loaded. Instead of letting Alvarado get a strikeout, you bring in another reliever in traffic, and Ruiz gives up a single and 2 more runs, 6-0 Mets, and they go on to win 7-2. So I hate bringing on relievers in traffic. It actually almost worked the first time with Kirkring, and Phillies are in a hole now. I always thought they would split up there, but their backs are up against the wall. What say you? Are they done? Or are they good to go?
Man, you were on the roll there. I was just going to hang out and listen to you go. I say that this team's identity is being overmanaged by the manager. The team's identity is a fun baseball team that hits the ball hard and lives and dies by the long ball and the camaraderie of the team. and they're not a small ball team. They'll never be a small ball team. They're a vibe team. And the manager is over managing the games, is over managing the team, and the team's not responding. Like you said, if you're paying money to go watch that team play tonight, you want to see Marsh in the starting lineup, you want to see Stott in the starting lineup, they belong. And I'm very disappointed in the team. I don't think that they're going to lose the series. I still believe that they win the series because they are the better baseball team. If they lose the series, they lost because not because they were a worse baseball team, because they didn't execute in the clutch like they normally do. So I'm very frustrated. I'm very disappointed. It's actually difficult for me because I am a fan. I'm not a talking head. I'm actually very pissed off right now. So to even do this is making me. I'm like going through it like everybody right now, and I'm very, very aggravated.
Some people are killing Harper. I'm not killing him. He got up in some spots. He's not going to get hits every single time. And
nobody got hits. Nobody got hits.
A hit today too. So
I mean,
yeah, it was really that Bohm in the middle of the game. Bohm got a deep right center, and he went for two instead of just settling with the single. They picked it right up off the jump, and he threw temper tantrum as he always does. So he's in the lineup today, and you have Stott and Marsh out. So you have temper tantrum boy in the lineup, Stott and Marsh out, and that was a turning point. And then in the early game, you could have got to the bullpen way earlier. You had two men on and no outs, and Bryce Harper and Castellanos strike out and hit into a double play. I mean, you could have got Manaea out of the game probably 2 innings.
I do always say this, but the one thing that can protect a manager from fans saying they overmanage the game and going back and second guessing all the decisions, because when he makes the right decisions, we don't even realize it because we won, is you have to hit. You have to hit. It's like so basic. It's the postseason. You have to put runs up. The Mets put 7 runs up tonight. Put 2. I mean, and for a while there, it seemed like we couldn't. It was like almost like impossible. Nola wasn't pitching poorly. He had no run support. It's got to be really difficult as a pitcher when you're going out inning after inning, second inning, third inning, fourth inning, the game's tight, and you're getting no run support. And that was the Phillies' doom tonight. I can see from the comments, a lot of people are pissed at the manager. I understand that frustration. I don't think it's a fire the coach situation, but I do get the frustration.
Hey, thanks for stopping in. You just want to see what the Mets wanted to see what the opposition had to say. Hey, they're hot. They were like we were 2 years ago. They got in. They're the underdog and stuff like that. But luckily for us right now, the Phillies are the underdog. They have got to win with Ranger Suarez on the mound. And then if they come back to a Game 5, they're going to have Zach Wheeler. We're hoping
we'll have to go. If there's a Game 5, we'll have to go. I gotta leave it all out. I can't watch it 20 seconds delayed on Hulu.
Have fun at the game because I will not be there Friday. The game 5 will be there Friday. I will not be there. But
what do you have on Friday?
They advance NLCS and World Series, and I'll get a game paired to that. But Friday, I'm actually trying to find a babysitter and going out with the wife and friends, hopefully.
Oh, thanks for the invite.
Yes, sir.
As I always say. No, Phil and I have 2 completely different family situations. I have 3 kids that always have somewhere to be. There's no way I can make a game Friday night, but in theory, I would love to.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably get somebody to give me tickets, and I'm not gonna be able to go. The best team in baseball are very hot, playing great. May the best team win. It's a
Met fan being classy.
It's a Met fan being classy, but if he would have lost today, he would probably not be saying that right now. He's trying to take the high road. He's trying to have the good juju. He's trying to close out the series. So you can piss off Craig. Literally, screw you, man. Like, seriously, get off the page.
Yeah,
I'm cool with other teams, but Yeah, he does the smiley faces. He knows what he's doing. He's like, yeah, I got the upper hand. We got to go 500 in the next 2 games. We advance to win this year. Blah, blah, blah. We got Ranger Suarez, the best pitcher on the mound, and then you're going to face Zach Wheeler. So good luck, buddy, and shove it. I'm very frustrated with the Phillies. Too much lineup tinkering, too much. Even though we won the Sanchez game in Game 2, it had nothing to do with him starting. There's just too much jockeying right now. It's exactly what you didn't want, and it's just you can't blame Topper. You can blame Topper because nobody knows what their job is. Nobody knows when they're going to come to pitch. Nobody knows where they're hitting in the lineup, and nobody knows who's going to start.
Yeah, they're confused.
So they're completely confused. The Mets know where they're going. Vientos knows when he's going yard. Pete Alonso knows he's going to hit and clean up. And Francisco Lindor knows he's leading off and hitting MVP. And somebody tell me who is supposed to actually drive in runs for the Phillies if you're just going to pitch around Harper the entire time. And he's getting pitched to, by the way. He's getting pitched to a lot because he's coming up in spots where there's like 2 outs and there's like 2 men on and there's not a base open, or he's coming in with there's nobody on and there's 2 outs. Like, he's getting pitched to a lot. But other than that, the guys in front of him, Trey Turner, stinks. And behind him, Castellanos, although he had a great game in Game 2. You need to see more from him. And then Bohm, to be honest with you, Bohm phone is ringing off the hook. Bohm is not somebody I want to see in the postseason. I think that's going to be the biggest switch if the Phillies get bounced in the offseason is Alec Bohm. He's great in the regular season, most RBIs ever, but the guy just throws his helmet. He has temper tantrums that just calm down. I mean, all these games, every team so far besides today has come back to win the game. The Mets like never led in any game, and they came back to win like every game they've won. And we were winning the first game, and then they won, and then vice versa. They were winning the second game, and then we won. Today's the only time where the score kind of held. But other than that, just be patient, take your pitches, and go. But I'll move on.
There's a lot of parity in the league too. Every series for the first time is 1-1. I read, and I actually posted that today. Here, I'll make you feel a little bit better. It could be a lot worse. Your favorite football team could be the New York Jets. Man, you want to talk about a team in shambles? Holy moly. I know that's on our list of topics today, but yeeks.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just go to that then, and it'll help us transition into football a little bit. Kyle likes Bohm wearing his emotions on my sleeves. I like that too, but they seem tight to me. And if you have a guy that's like sulking, it kind of runs up the wrong way. But I don't know. So Robert Saleh gets fired today, and with this lineup and with this payroll, Dave Dombrowski, actually the real question was is Nick Sirianni next? But I mean, if Rob Thompson gets bounced tomorrow, is he next to go winning the division? Luckily, I mean, they almost won 100 games this year. There might be.
Hey, listen, there's a regression though. You went from World Series to NLCS to NLDS. If they do get bounced, that's regression. That's never a good sign. You can make the same argument with Sirianni. Super Bowl, wild card out.
So. Yeah, so Saleh firing, it's funny. Our boy, the number 1 Guido, was like Aaron Rodgers. He's like the guy that's running the team, and he made sure his boy and Nathaniel Hackett didn't get the interim job. He's just flying under the radar, and the interim job went to their defensive coordinator, which is some consistency because he works with Robert Saleh every day. Robert Saleh's a defensive head coach, but he gets fired shockingly. They kind of got embarrassed in London. He liked their odds of I don't want to have a Jets podcast, but he liked their he just kind of liked how they were playing. I think they're 2-3, and they had the Bills coming up a big divisional game, and they're still right in the thick of it due to an up and down division and the Dolphins being hurt and things like that. So he shockingly gets fired midseason. I don't know where they go from here, but how it relates to the Eagles and Philly. Like, do you think Nick is next. Do you think they would ever fire Nick mid-season? Do you think they just wait?
Aaron Rodgers fired Robert Saleh. There's no question.
Sure.
So,
Jalen Hurts could fire Nick Sirianni. Do you think Nick Sirianni is
you
going
can let me? That's exactly what I'm getting. My point. If Aaron Rodgers can get Robert Saleh fired, does Jalen Hurts have the same pull management-wise? Perhaps. He's got a huge contract. You ride and die with the quarterback. It's possible. It just depends who has bigger sway. Does upper level Eagles management prefer the Nick Sirianni style regime where they know that they can control? They got to keep their quarterback happy. Let the debate rage on. I have been a supporter of Nick Sirianni. I think he's a good coach. I think Jalen Hurts is not fundamentally sound right now. He's not executing at a high level. He's not earning his dollars. He can't throw the ball over the middle. Everything's to the outside. The offense is still really weird for me. I don't like the plays being called. It looks a lot like past years. But my problem with the team, I think it's Hurts. Hurts is the center to this whole thing here. We've changed offensive coordinator, but the offense looks exactly the same. I think because I don't think he could do much else. So I think the Eagles kind of might just be what they are, and the Phillies are underperforming. It's a very, very frustrating time to be a fan.
Yeah, I think someone said it in the comments. I think the most frustrating thing is the fact that these two can't communicate. We talked about it last week.
Yes.
That quote in the press conference where he's like, "We have our moments." Like, it's football, man. I mean, they have the plays that work. They have a new coordinator that tried to install motion and do things that work. There's plays that Jalen likes. The fact that they've had now 10 days. Nick Sirianni's at the Phillies game drinking a Sprite, which, by the way, is why the Phillies probably have no offense, as Nick Sirianni's right there on the first baseline at the game. And that was a joke.
Nady is going to come after you for that comment.
That was a joke.
He loves Sirianni.
No, it's just that they're professionals. They've had success. I don't, me, to be honest, have differences with cohorts and us on the page and everything like that. It's just like, we've had success. You've done things well. You can't sit down and just figure it out, especially with this layoff right now. I didn't see anything this week that told me, hey, they stayed back, they didn't go home, they had an extra practice. I saw Nick by himself in a luxury suite at the Phillies game, and I haven't seen Jalen since he lost to Tampa Bay. I don't know where he is, but not that it's any of my business. But I mean, they didn't hold maybe they don't want to have extra pressure or extra headlines like, oh, they hold a players only like extra practice during the bye week or something like that and make extra storylines. But like, they did nothing this week that showed me they were going to come out any different against the Browns. And they now run the risk of playing a horrible Browns team that got embarrassed, that had pride. I mean, they won a game against the Jags, and they might bench Deshaun Watson. I mean, these bad teams are the worst teams. The worst teams you can possibly play in the NFL.
Dude,
team that
you're telling me. Think about over the years the times where we got torched by teams that were down and out because they just got spanked 2 weeks in a row and decided to play for their coach or play for their old high school coach that called them up and fired them, whatever it is. The Joe Webb games, and oh my God, they could go on and on and on. I am very, very nervous. This will be a close game Sunday. I know we're going to get to predictions and odds and everything later on, but this is going to be not an easy game for the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday.
Not at all. Deshaun Watson had 2 games where he had an 8, like not 80, not 90, not 70, not 100. He had an 8, a single-digit quarterback rating in 2 games this season. Like, even if he
the law of averages is not there.
even if he starts this week, he's going to probably play better. And even if he starts and struggles, they're probably going to put Jameis Winston in, who, by the way, has like historically bludgeoned the Eagles. I remember a game when he was on the Bucs and he just tore us apart.
Mm-hmm.
So
we do that. That's a big Eagle move, like to like glorify a sort of subpar quarterback, and then we'll watch them, and the quarterbacks will really actually play a decent game, and then we'll watch them play against other teams and throw like 4 easy interceptions, and it's like, wait a minute, where was that last week? You gave us our A game, but that listen, the Eagles bring that. Teams come in the link. The vibe is amazing. The fans are always fired up. They're like, oh man, wow, this is what it's like to play in a cool place. And then like it like almost like feeds them, I feel like sometimes. So fans need to be loud, be nasty.
They're
Can't take
defending
this for
Watson
granted.
in the comments. He hasn't had much help. There's rumors that Amari Cooper is a trade candidate to come to the Eagles. Exactly what I'm afraid of. The Browns have more fight. They love Kevin Stefanski. By the way, Kevin Stefanski is a Yardley guy. He's like a, mainline PA guy, Kevin Stefanski. He actually like beat my wife out in a bidding war in a real estate battle. He was trying to buy a house in Ocean City that she was trying to sell to her client. And Kevin Stefanski, he's like a Philly guy. He's the local guy. He's going to have all kinds of fanfare there. He might get fired if he loses this job. Kevin Stefanski, that's a name to look out for an Eagles OC or head coach candidate moving forward, because he got dealt a crap hand. But
Do you like
Watson's
Robert Saleh as a possible Eagles
I
something?
don't know. I don't want a defensive head coach. I don't like Saleh at all. I like Kevin Stefanski, but they're saying his receivers, he has no O-line. They're all injured, and his receivers have the most drops in the league in Cleveland Browns. So there's a lot of things to be scary about this Browns game, and the fact that Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter has showed flashes, but Jordan Davis stinks. The Eagles haven't shown the ability to stop the run at all, and you have a guy that kind of was projected fantasy-wise to be pretty good, but the Chubb hasn't played a game yet, but Jerome Ford was really good at the end of last year and hasn't done anything yet. And you have a team that really can't stop the run, so they're going to want to run Jerome Ford a lot. It's gonna be ugly. But are you more concerned about the Eagles' defense and stopping the run and stopping Deshaun Watson from having like a miracle game that he hasn't had in 3 years? Or are you worried about the offense and Sirianni and Hurts and Zach Foles?
How are we on AJ Brown? Is AJ
He's
Brown and
going.
Devontae Smith? Then
I
I
think
don't have a
everybody's back.
problem. Listen, in that case, let's just be real for a minute. There's absolutely no reason the Eagles don't lay 30, 34 points on this team. So the biggest concern has to be the defense. Let's hope for the New Orleans Saints performance, not the Tampa Bay performance. And kind of like the Phillies with run support, let's hope that the Eagles get out to a good start to give their defense a little bit of a break, right? So they've been not great this season in the first quarter. How about we go out? We have a really nice drive. How about we get Saquon Barkley right up the middle with a handoff on the first play of the game? Get the fans nice and happy. That's what everybody wants to see. It's a no-brainer. Even if he gets stuffed or he gets a minus a yard, you give it to Barkley. You put a nice drive together. You put 7 on them. All right, now the defense is like, all right, we can breathe. A little complimentary football.
It was like
Bang,
Nick
bang, beat the Browns.
Castellanos chased 2 balls in the dirt, and then I think the third pitch he just laid off it and didn't swing at all, and it was a ball, and everybody gave him a standing ovation. Like if they hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley and he gets stuffed, everyone's gonna do that like fake kind of, I don't know the word for it, that facetious like laugh. They're gonna just laugh and be like, yeah, they finally ran it on first down, and it's just, and everyone's just gonna be like, and they're gonna be on the field, and they're gonna be like, screw these fans.
First down.
But that's why I am more worried about the offense than the defense. I think for whatever reason, no matter how bad if the defense is ranked last in the league, I feel like in the link in some of those games, they always like kind of fly around a little bit. But if the offense comes out and they're like 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and they have like no, I mean, they showed motion the first couple weeks and they felt like they had new stuff going. And then last week they just regressed to like these same like vertical routes. Maybe that was because they had a bunch of people out, but like, and that's their default. But I mean, that first week 1 game, I mean, they came out fumbles and got behind, and
No, we can't be doing that.
Behind in the Saints game, but they won. The only game they were really ahead was the Atlanta game that they lost. I mean, they've been behind in 3 out of the first 4 games they played. I feel like it's like, so I'm still worried about the offense until they show me otherwise. But I'm really excited that Brown and Smith and everybody's back. It's gonna be a lot.
Absolutely.
Of fun. I'm seeing them boys in a minute.
Yeah.
Seeing them boys in a minute. So yeah, we're really upset about the Phillies. Saleh's fired. We think Nick could be next. Rob Thompson could be next, by the way. And can the Eagles? I mean, the Commanders and Jaden Daniels are 4-1. Eagles are 2-2. If they lose, they're 2-3. At 4-1 Commanders, the Eagles mathematically can they still win the division? And like, how does the wild card?
I mean, if you handle your own division business, you got to win all your division games. I would like to see how these division teams match up against each other. The only one so far has been what? Giants, Dallas. Wait, did Washington play Dallas yet? No, just Giants, Dallas is the only one, right? So you have 2 shots against Washington. So if you can beat them twice, there you go. You level that 2-game swing. But let's be realistic here, Phil. If we don't beat the Browns this weekend, we lost to the Buccaneers. I mean, it might just not be the Eagles' year. They have to win this weekend. Like, they have to get the season back on track. It's going to be really difficult for them to all of a sudden rip off some unbelievable run. Even though I'm not faulting them so bad for last week, the team was so injured. I don't want to judge the team by the performance last week, but if the team's healthy this week off a bye, let's not forget, off a bye against the Browns at home at 1:00. I mean, I'll be speechless.
They've gotta climb back in the division. They gotta hope that somebody figures out this Jaden Daniels and finds his tendencies. And one team like the 49ers figured us out, and then after that we were doomed. Like, someone's got to figure this guy out and what to run against him because the NFC North is absolutely amazing. Like, if the Redskins are the best team, the Commanders are the best team in the division. Like, the wild card's going to be tough. You have the Vikings who are 4-0. You have the Lions. The Packers are really, really good. Like,
by the way, does it bother you that in all the memes I call Washington the Redskins and I call the Guardians the Indians? Does that bother you?
I didn't even notice that because
I always do. Like, I'll be like, Skins are 2-0.
The Skins. Yeah, the Skins are good. Luckily, we have the tiebreaker against the Packers. So if the NFC North sends 2 teams and the NFC East sends 2 teams, that'll work. But
right.
Brazil, baby, Brazil tiebreaker might make it happen.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
It's head to head. So, yeah, I think the Eagles can still win. That's going to be the Thursday night game. We play them at home. And then the other game against Washington is really, really late in the year. That bus trip is going to be sick. So shout out to sports trips and those guys. That bus trip's going to be up.
Hopefully you're not going on any weekend dates or whatever. You can't go.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll go to that one.
That's right. I'm going to laugh of where I'm going. I'll tell you guys where I'm going in a second. If I can find a babysitter.
If it's not medieval times, I don't care.
If I can find a babysitter. But of all the bus trips, I was like, oh, early in the season, we're going to play.
We'll babysit them.
All right. Deal. Early in the season, we're like, oh, we're going to play the Giants, go up to MetLife, spank the Giants because they're bad, Danny Dimes. And then, like, we got to play the Ravens, who are a playoff team. Those were, like, the 2 bus trips with Philly sports trips. I was like, these are the meaty ones. But the meaty bus trip was about to be the freaking going to dirty FedEx Field, play the Commanders at the end of the season. So
have like some like sewage pipe burst over top of your head and get sewage spilled on you while the Jalen Hurts is throwing 2 interceptions.
So Alex wants to go see a podcast on Friday. That's at Hard Rock. They're going to be in like the Edis Arena in Hard Rock.
Which one is it?
It is.
Okay, it's one of her reality shows, isn't it?
It is. It is Paige B and Pop. It is. It's Paige DeSorbo and Hannah from Bravo. It is like the Giggly Squad.
Holy moly! Podcast. My window of television watching is so small now, and my Philly sports addiction is so large that I only watch sports. So like my TV watching is really low. I did start watching The Penguin, which is pretty good. That's the only
I'm the
like
worst
newer
Phillies fan
show.
ever. I talk a lot of smoke about, I'm going to Phillies game. Screw you, game one. I'm gonna
You're
go
going to a
regardless.
podcast.
Tomorrow she has a book club, and so I gotta watch Nikki because she has a book club tomorrow. I can't go to this. If this was the clinching game against the Mets, I would have totally considered like training up there, and just with my $100 bill theory, just walk around and just get in the stadium. I can't go to the Phillies Mets tomorrow, and I can't go to a potential Game 5 on Friday because I'm going to see Giggly Squad, Paige DeSorbo from Southern
Unbelievable.
Charm.
Well, maybe someday, hopefully someday soon, people will be training or wherever they're going to see our podcast.
Sean and Alyssa in the kitchen are going to be there, so we're going to go to Hard Rock.
Nice.
If we can find a babysitter. Hard Rock,
Where's
and
Babs?
from now through the 11th, so from today through the rest of the weekend, it's restaurant week in Atlantic City. So there's $20 lunches and $40 prefix dinners. That's like last year when I went to Super Fricka and got like fricked up.
I love how mom jumps on the podcast and immediately you're like, I need a babysitter.
Being
Where's Babs? And I'll be your backup.
She's down now and she's leaving. So and then we have a couple that I think are busy sitters. So we'll see. Atlantic City Restaurant Week this week. Aaron! What's good?
What's up, brother? I can't wait to get my shirt, Aaron. I'm waiting for my shirt.
Oh, yeah, Aaron. And then with the wife and Nikki, yeah, that's why the Eagles got to win this week. And the Eagles need to.
Oh, yeah, this is a big thing. Aaron jumping on. That's his first Eagles game. He's doing the whole thing. Could bring his whole family in. They're going to the Liberty Bell. They're doing the whole thing.
Against the Browns?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. And I'm going to LA. And by the time I go to LA, the Eagles season could be over if they lose more than 2 games in the next 4 weeks.
I forget. It's either his first Eagles game or it's his first time coming to Jersey Shore. He's going to check out the Jersey Shore. No, it's his first Eagles game this weekend. He wrote it. Yeah. Yeah, him and I were texting. If you guys don't know Aaron, they're the West Coast Eagles fans. They got the crazy mask and all the neon stuff. They're super legit. Make sure you guys follow all their stuff. Aaron,
I would have had him on.
Socials in the comments.
We have our favorite Jewy Jamaican coming on the week before we go to LA. We have other Aaron, West Coast Aaron. And congratulations, your wife's first time with the family coming to Philly. Sweet. We got to link up. We'll meet up at with Sean Holden at S3E6, or when we walk in, we'll stop at 4th and John with the boys. Also, shout out to Ray Split Decision. They're the band that's at Xfinity on the little stage, John. And it's not going to be like crazy loud luxury. It's going to be just regular Xfinity on Sunday. So Ray from Split Decision is playing the Eagles Browns pregame and
That's good vibes.
Potentially a Phillies block party if we can freaking get out of this series somehow.
And I might or might not have a couple smaller guests with me that's still up in the air. There's a few behavior contracts I am working on with them before that happens, but I might have mini Jason Kelsey with me.
So speaking of the nervousness of the game this week, we shouldn't be, because the Eagles are not 6.5, not 7.5. They're 8.5 point favorites. They're minus $450 on the money line. The Browns are plus 350. I would take the Browns plus 350 and the Browns plus 8.5 all day if my money depended on it. But that's just if the refs are involved in it and they got to keep the Eagles in the mix this year, I'll take it.
My friend heavy bet the Phillies tonight. I'm not going to say how much money he put on them, but it was a significant amount. It was four figures. And I was like, dude, if you're the Mets are home and you get 1.5 runs, like the whole thing freaked me out. I hate betting Philly sports, but if you are laying money, not betting advice, all the disclaimers and such, I think the Eagles are blocked this weekend. What's the spread on it?
-8.5.
I don't like that. I do think it'll be closer, but I do like the Eagles to win.
Straight
I don't like that money line. That's a terrible money line. So I would say lay off the Eagles this week.
The point
That's my betting
projections are
advice.
Eagles 22, Browns 21. The point projections. It's a 43.5 over under. And the only reason I bet the Phillies was I wanted to go to maybe game 2. I had to pick up, shout out to Performance Meal Prep, by the way. Our new food just got delivered, so I'll come drop that off. Performance Meal Prep, our boy Jesse. Use code PIP for free delivery. So I wanted to go Sunday because I had to pick up meals from Jesse maybe. And I was trying to go, and I was like, I might go up and just bring like $100 bill and try and like finesse my way in the stadium. Then I was like, nah. Then I was like, I would do the podcast on Tuesdays if the Phillies are up like 2-1 in the series, and it's a clincher. Maybe Wednesday I'll just just cut out and just beeline up there. And I was like, and even if it's 2-2 going to game 5, like Friday night, maybe me and Vic will go. And we'll just will them to victory. I got freaking giggly squad. Everything got screwed up with the Phillies. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to any games this season. We are down 1-0 in the series. We are down.
Series, you mean series?
Yeah, we were down 1-0 in the series at the time, and we were down in the game a lot. And the payout was crazy. It was actually plus 550 at one point, and then it dropped down to plus 380. It was just jumping all over. I was watching the game delayed. The odds were the action was ahead of whatever I was watching. I was like, $100, bang. $100 is not going to make or break me. I'm not going to bet $10 to win 50. Like $50 is not going to do anything. $10 is not going to do it. I was like, a full unit, $100, cash out $450. Immediately had to pay my taxes in Summers Point and my
your sewer bill.
My sewer. So I still don't have money for tickets, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the series. I hope they advance. My boy Rob's gonna hook us up with NLCS tickets and World Series tickets. So we got to win.
Hi, Lennon. What's up, Lennon?
What's going on, Lennon? F the Mets. F the Mets. Ranger Suarez is our boy. Although he hasn't been too great, like he's just not gonna let us lose tomorrow. And we got Wheeler on the hill in game 5. So Lennon, we got you, my boy.
Ed doesn't like Hurts.
Ed says our Eagles quarterback stinks, but I really like Lennon. He's the only person I know with the Philthy Philly shirt. I don't even have a Philthy Philly shirt.
I actually don't have that shirt either. That shirt's dope. It looks good on him.
So go to our link tree. First 1,000 subscribers on YouTube get entered to win a free jersey. We're like halfway there. We're at 500. New YouTube channel. Our 570 creative store with Sean has the only Philthy and Philly shirts, and Lennon has one. And what else is on there? I don't know. Performance meal prep.
That we sent him for free. So we're negative $4.
Oh no! We're getting invaded right now.
What up? What's up, brothers? Can you guys hear me? Testing.
Perfect.
Yeah, he's in the house. Bringing Aaron up on stage. First time mid-show bringing guests on. What's happening?
Yeah, I don't know why my camera's not working, so I don't know what's going on there, but you can hear my charming voice. How you guys doing besides the Phillies today? It's brutal. It's brutal.
The Phillies have been brutal. So this is gonna be your first time at the link this weekend, right?
No, this is probably I think this is my third. The first time I actually stepped in my second home was when we dropped the banner. And when we played Atlanta, when we dropped the banner, we burned that jersey, that Giants jersey that had 0 Super Bowls from License Plate Guy. I was there with the E-Rock and Fourth and John. We burned that jersey. I don't know if you were there, but we burned that jersey. So it was pretty cool. It was raised a ton of money for a charity, and we finally got that monkey off our back. So,
Do you have any
it's.
to-dos when you come? Like, do you have any?
I was supposed to be on the show with Scott had called me, invited me, but I guess they changed the schedule or something like that for the Vetted show that's on Apple TV and Roku TV. But I guess they changed time, so Thursday is gonna be open. So we'll see what we do. We should be there around 2:30. We land, and then I don't know what you guys got going on. If you guys have anything going on from Thursday to Sunday, or Thursday through Saturday, I'll see you guys Sunday as well. But in between, if you guys have some free time, I would love to go to see the Jersey Shore. Never done that, so I know you guys
We
are pretty
live
close to
down
that.
at the beach, and there's actually, I've gone the last couple weekends. So there's 2 amusement parks on the Ocean City Boardwalk. The one, Wonderland, is more like kiddie rides. Like the one has like not scary roller coasters, but the one has like teen rides, and the other one, Wonderland, is like if you're under like 8 years old or under 6 years old, you go. So Wonderland is closing. So I've been taking my son there like a lot. So if you come down the boardwalk, Ocean City, or my office here at iHeart Radio is in Atlantic City. So if you're at any of the shore points, Ocean City, Sea Isle, Atlantic City, hit us up. We'll be there all weekend. And then, so we travel from basically South Jersey to the Eagles games every Sunday. And then at the stadium itself, is there any like tailgates or anything you're trying to hit up?
Being a super fan, you try to get to everybody's tailgate. I haven't been to the C6's tailgate before with Sean, so I'm gonna probably be there the majority. But I make my rounds because the fans are they're just badass, dude. I love all my fans. I just love being in Philly, dude. They keep me level-headed, and I work really hard, doing my 9 to 5, and I wish I could be Birdman 951 full time, and it was my life, because it's just like, when I see fans, wherever I go, like the draft and stuff, it's just so awesome, from the littlest fan to just older fans, and they feel like watching my videos that they're a part of me, and it's kind of crazy. Like they feel like we know each other, and it's the first time for me meeting them, and I'm like, hey man, what's up, man? You been, because it's almost so real, because they're in your life through social media, and it's just awesome, dude. And like all the fans, and I meet them at the airports or wherever I'm at. It's just cool, man. And that's
We
what
talked
keeps.
about it a lot. Like this era, it just makes it so different, and it's such a shame with like the Phillies are just like going and falling up short, and the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. It's just like this era with like you out there on the West Coast, and like Vince, his travel company, just blowing up Philly sports trips. Philly sports guys going like 6 years now, and there's that feature on him today, and like there's comedians, there's like Malik Joe, there's like Dumphy, there's Jason Kelsey retiring, and
the freak show. I call it the freak show. It's a working term for all of us.
This is like the social media era. It was like the junk wax era of the bubblegum baseball cards of the 1990s, the 80s, 90s baseball cards that are all junk and worthless, like the junk wax era. This is like the social media, like freaking Kyle and TikTok banging inflatables together with his countdowns of the top power rankings of the teams, and freaking PHLY and E-Rocks and Black Gritty and freaking it's just everybody. It's just crazy.
Dude, the Philly. Let me tell you something. What I learned being on California and learning more about Philadelphia. Like, dude, we are so connected. Like, it's insane. Like, I'll go to a bar and it's an Eagles bar, and they're from Philly, and this and that. The roots are so huge, and Like and it's insane. It's like Philadelphia has its own language, and only certain people get it. Like it's really hard to. You can't really explain it. You just have to learn it. There's just no way. Like it's just like Jason Martinez. He knows California. He knows where I'm from and all that. Like John Dornbos, he was raised in like my hometown and everything. So there's connection there. David Akers was in my backyard one time, and he does his things with churches and stuff. We met him.
Just sit on the floor.
Zach Ertz, like dude, it's so insane. This is Deshaun Jackson. It's in my backyard, and he's gonna be there with Philly Sports Trips. I haven't met him personally, but I'm finally gonna have that opportunity, and just like all the people on TV, you guys like. And you guys just barely started to know me, but it's just like I keep learning and growing, and like everybody, it's just amazing. I met Pat McAfee, Rich Eisen, and it's just like it's so cool, man. It's hard to explain. I have so many stories, and then we got that awesome baby Kelsey story that you guys are a part of. Like, dude, like it's like it was like a whole drama series. I don't know if you were able to see all the videos, but people were just like, dude, what are you? Like, what is this? I'm like, it's just, dude, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, this is just what life is, and with being a Philadelphia fan, it's crazy.
That was the craziest, funniest, actually real. You would think almost it would be like a stunt that pages would come up with, like, oh, let's come up with something stupid. But no, it really happened real time. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, go back. Maybe we'll share it recently. But there's this crazy sort of story that happened over the summer. It coincided with the Jason Kelsey autism event where we had a doll that was for our daughter to get signed, and we got it signed, but it got stolen. And then this crazy story went down, and we recovered it. It did have a happy ending,
right?
And it's on Aaron's story, so make sure you follow Aaron Birdman 951 on all the socials, and it's on some of the Philthy and Philly stuff too.
Things we do for our kids.
Oh yeah, dude, and that was a like 2-year thing, dude. That was a 2-year work in progress. And shout out to Chris Natty, that's my guy. And like I said, the stuff we do for our children, it's just and my daughter's kind of understanding now, and like, okay, who's Big Dom, and I mean, Jason Kelsey is like, dude. Every time I turn on the TV, I can't get away from Jason Kelsey. He's like in every commercial. He's always doing something, man. He's wild. Jason Kelsey, the Kelsey family is just on fire. My goodness, man.
Here's one.
So Jason Kelsey arrives to the event in Philadelphia, and Chris lets me know that the party's getting started, and it's in the works to get the baby signed. What's up, Kelsey? There he goes inside, and everything is going good. And the baby is confirmed. The baby is signed. There's Chris Natty taking pictures, Mrs. Kelsey, Big Dom in the house, Mama Kelsey in the house right there. So there they are having a good time. As you can see, Big Dom signed the baby right there. I get on the conference call right there. We FaceTime each other, showing me the evidence. Baby is signed. So here we go with Philthy and Philly. They're chilling. Brandon Graham in the house. What an amazing event. I wish I was there. So after the party, the next morning I get a call from Mr. Natty, and he tells me there's big trouble. They can't find the baby. He doesn't know where the baby is. The baby is missing.
The baby is missing, and I'll leave you with that to see what happens with the baby if you ain't seen it.
Oh man,
dude, one of those videos was so good. It was like what I envisioned. I was like, I feel like this needs to be like a drama story. Like I was like, talking
dude,
guys,
exactly.
And I made like a
so
meme,
cool.
but like I couldn't execute it. I didn't have the time, and you took so much time to put that together. It was so good.
Yeah, dude. Everybody was messaging me like, dude, give me part 2, dude. Where's the baby? Give me part 3. Where's part 3?
I'm like, I gotta know. I gotta know.
Yeah, man. It was like I said, dude. It's just like it's so hard to explain the ride that, with the Philadelphia. I have there's so many stories that I could tell you of just crazy things that go on. They're like little mini adventures, dude. And you guys finally get to come out here. It's gonna be amazing, dude. Like San Diego has plenty of Eagle bars, and it's just amazing, dude. Like I can't explain it. Even in Vegas, I got my yeah.
Sorry, when we were in Arizona, the Eagles bar out there was unbelievable.
We went to Rock Bar. We went to Vegas too, to Allegiant, but never been to California. It's my first time. Be my wife, my son.
Dude, we do we do it big. And when you get into SoFi and you see all the Eagle fans, dude, and especially if our birds could. I know there's turmoil right now. I hope that this bye week just was a blessing in disguise, and somebody's got to start this fire, because right now it's like it just feels. I feel like there's no passion right now, and that's not us. That's just not us. So I hope this bye week is a blessing in disguise. And right now, I know it looks bleak right now with the Phillies, but something has to change, man. And I hope it starts this Sunday with the Browns.
Yeah, we'll get it. So obviously the Eagles are like heavy favorites, but as we all know, we never make it easy on ourselves. What do you think that the score is going to be? They think it's going to be like 43 points total, over under 43.5. Like a 23-20 ish. What do you think the final score is going to be?
A lot of people, from I'm listening to a lot of content, they're just assuming we're gonna do something like put 50 points up. I don't necessarily need to see that. I just need to see my team play with fire. Like I need to see that passion, that Philly grit and everything. And I just need to see them come alive. I need to see Jalen just be the leader. This is your team. If you're not gonna stand up, then who else is, dude? You are the captain of the ship. I know Nick has part to do with this, but right now I don't feel Jalen is doing that for us. I feel like something is bothering him, and he's letting everybody feel it. And if your captain is feeling like that, then the team is going to play like that with those results. And I just want to see a great game. I don't need to see 50 points. I just need to see a great game, and just make us feel that this is your team, Jalen. Just because you could look at the Jets right now, and I know there's turmoil and the coach is gone and all that stuff. We could be in that much trouble real quick. If this thing could go south real quick, and I don't want it to, man, because we have too much talent, bro. There's too much talent, man. Even with the Phillies.
What's your score? What's your score for this week?
I'm gonna go 34-14.
All right.
That's a cover. That's a cover for all you bettors out there.
Yeah, big one. I like that. I think the Eagles score in the 30s too, and I think we should hold them. It should be convincing. I think that was like probably one of the words you're looking for. Like, even if the score's close, but they're like dominant, and then they come back and the score is closer than it actually what you were visually watching. You need a convincing win. You need Jalen to look good. You need him to not have turnovers. You need them to score points on offense. Even if the defense lets up like at the end and lets the score close, you need a convincing win by the eye test, not by the stats and the score and stuff like that. So
I'm sorry, I don't think that either one of you get the answer you're looking for this weekend. I think it's going to be a shootout. I do think it will be high scoring, something like 31-28. I don't think the Eagles cover the 8 points. I think it's going to be close. Eagles play down to bad opponents. The Browns are a terrible team. It's historically something I see, but I think what bodes well for what you guys want. And listen, I want what you want. I can't make that my prediction. Is that we're coming off the bye, and I think they're going to be flying off the bye. So I think we'll score points, but I think it's going to be a little closer.
I do.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles are going to score 31 points, and I don't know if the Browns can move the ball like that.
Nah.
So I think they're going to score under 20. It's going to be like 31.
And I actually have Barkley should have a great game. I think we're going to start getting our run game going. Kind of ease things in. That's what I'm looking for. I want to see a nice little balance right there. If I see Jalen throwing bombs in the beginning, I'm going to be really pissed. I'm going to be really pissed.
Where do you see what I'm wearing to the game?
Well, thanks for jumping on, Aaron. And we're gonna
jump. Man.
We're gonna do our meme of the week, and then we're gonna jump off here for the. I'm gonna pull up this meme. Aaron, we'll see you. We'll see you Sunday. Text us, my guy.
All right, man. I'll see you guys.
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna jump and pull up the screens here so I can do my meme of the week. My meme of the week is presented by our friends at Philthy Hockey. Let me tell you about my friend Tom. Philthy Hockey, you know him. He's got the nice hair, the lettuce. He gave away Phillies tickets, and he didn't give the tickets to us, so you know he's not rigging it. You know he picks new winners every time. You know he's crushing it on Instagram. He's always doing the ticket giveaways. Philthy Hockey Giordano. If you're not following them, you should, because you won't regret it. They're not your boring law firm. They do have some like education on there, and they're not just personal injury either. They do everything. In fact, they got like crazy billboards on I-95 when you're coming and going, leaving the stadium. They'll like stack 4 together, and their IG posts are hilarious. So they collab with like Frankie Muniz. So this law firm is best in the city of Philadelphia, in the state, and even the country. So they can represent you nationwide, and they can help you with all legal needs, work injuries, car accidents, slip and falls, disability, criminal defense, and you name it. And they get the biggest settlements ever, millions of dollars, multi-million-dollar settlements. I probably can't even throw that out there, but I'm sorry. They do. They've helped thousands of people both in Philly and throughout the country. So Philthy Hockey's our go-to law firm, and they're hilarious, and they're probably giving away Eagles-Browns tickets this week. So they're going to bring you meme of the week. And my meme of the week is going to be I made this original. It is going to be before we get to Vic's. It's going to be,
no matter what the talent level, you've been pretty cohesive.
Yeah. Listen, I've been in this league for a while now. We've added motion and have removed it. We now have to go back to the same crappy plays Jalen likes. Jalen makes the same old mistakes, the same old turnovers, fumbles. Jalen Hurts is a dead man when he rolls left, and he's always running right because he can't see the whole field. We can only call plays he understands. He can't comprehend anything new. He's going to cost me my job because he holds the ball longer than anyone in the league. That's
my meme of the week.
My son is sitting next to me. I'm keeping him off camera to protect his privacy, but he's head turned, and I muted the mic. I was like, it's AI, and he was like, wait, what?
I have the rebuttal coming. Jalen Hurts press conference rebuttal's coming prior to Eagles Browns this week. It's coming. I had to wait for the Phillies to dissipate, and I didn't want to cause any more negative. But Jalen Hurts has his response. It's coming.
He should, as he should. I'm going with Phillies. I have an honorable mention, and then I have my meme of the week. So, meme of the week has to be the Ryan Castellanos tweet that was overlaid on your boy Nick Castellanos. For those of you guys that are ever thinking of doing anything with us, advertising your business or things like that, our page really does have some incredible reach. This post alone's 39,000 likes, 600 comments, over 2,000 shares.
And that's just the Facebook, because the Instagram's got another, 10,000, 6,000 likes. Or last I checked, probably 10,000 likes. And then the amount of accounts that just see it and don't like or comment is like, it's millions per month. Yeah, go ahead.
It is. So that's what I'm going through for meme of the week. And then for original is honorable mention is me being a menace in the comments. I shared a negative comment that I flamed back and thinking that this fan was a Met fan and he was actually a Phillies fan. He was really, really cool about it. Him and I back and forth in the comments. He was incredible. So that is the one I'm going with for me of the week. It's absolute menace in the comments today. Keeping tabs. If you want to pull that one up.
This one with the walk off.
The quote is absolute menace in the comments today.
Oh, I didn't even have it shared. This.
Yeah, that's the first one, and then there's a still one. Just a straight up tweet. And the guy, he's like, wow, you really did me like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're a Phillies fan? And it's great.
Where is it? Is it in here?
Yeah, you had it up. It's like a menace in the comments. Over there it is.
Yeah, this one. That's what I had.
Yeah.
Are they rattled? About to be when we walk this off. Good call. That age will.
Yes. So that's what I'm going with for my meme of the week because what was the person's name? Yeah, Phil. Yeah. He was the man. He was really cool in the comments. If you go in the actual comments of that post, it's really great. So that's mine. And then the massive one that got millions and millions of reach is my official meme of the week.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's about to break the record of the Falcons girls with the big Tonys.
Yeah, Phil and I have a big rivalry when it comes to monster posts. And by the way, they have no rhyme or reason. There's no reason that this post should be doing better or worse than
they didn't show the apple today. They hit a bunch of home runs. There's no apple and there's no pumpkin, no nothing.
I was hoping that apple one was actually made by one of the baseball dads that's on my son's baseball team. Actually made that meme and sent it to me.
The Mets are one win away from reaching the NLCS. Ew. They're not gonna. Ranger Suarez is gonna bail us out. And shout out to Mike who is buying Twisted Teas. Mike, aka the Guido. He's buying Twisted Teas and not boarding his house and not leaving 115-mile-an-hour winds and miss the podcast because he's stocking up on bread, milk, and eggs. And shout out to all our people in Florida and the Carolinas who were recently affected by the hurricane that just hit in the Carolinas. We're sending a lot of stuff down. And then Florida's getting crushed right now by Milton. Right? It's Milton. And yes. Milton might hit the Carolinas as well. But the Carolinas had one before that, like last week, sending diapers and gift cards down from my work. So
yes, I know. I actually was just at an event tonight, a work event tonight, and there was a guy that they were friends with down there, and he lost literally everything. He was a pretty well-off guy, had a job, everything was good. He literally, to this day, has the shirt that's on his back. He lost everything in his life. So if you see any of those GoFundMes or events or anything for any people affected by the hurricane, definitely try to spread some good cheer because that's pretty rough.
So as much as we get pissed off about our Phillies and stuff like that, we're going to have bigger things to focus on, like the Eagles and like helping people and trying to stay civil in this fall with all the hurricane season and the election season and all of the things. Just keep yourselves sane, please, in the comments. Don't kill each other. We're all Philadelphia fans in here for the most part, unless we get trolls on the page, attack them and kill them in the comments. But other than that, we're all together. I don't know why we're fighting ourselves here.
Always.
I hope the team does not fight ourselves because we need this win this week. And you guys stay safe out there. And we'll see you next week. And if you're going to the game, shoot us a message because we got to hit our friends who we missed last week. We got the underdog coming with us. We got FDR, our friends. We got to see Natalie. We got to see Sean C6. We got to see Fourth and John, who went live at 4 because they knew the Phillies were on at 5. And we went on after the Phillies because we're just that dialed right now. And freaking A. Oh, there's a wedding going on and Philly PR.
Oh my gosh, when we talk about that, yeah, we're covering a wedding. There's these crazy Eagles
People
fans
getting
getting married.
Bobby and Lottie, the Philly PR girl, is having a tailgate Thanksgiving food. Philly sports guy. A lot of stuff going on. So stay tuned. We'll see you up there. Let us know if you're going. Go Eagles. Go Phillies.
Go Birds, go Phils.